Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering, off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This isn't one that I'm particularly excited to take up. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. And yeah, sure. I went over there, got off work a while ago, and I went over there, decided, stop off at a gas station, get a little gas. And if you watch the channel, you already know, probably at least 50% of my items that I review on this channel come from gas stations. I'm always keeping my eyes open for new stuff and things that look interesting. And I saw this, and my brain immediately went, Brandon, you could review that. Then the bigger part of my brain, like the more functional, logical part, went over there and said, Brandon, why would you review that? You're probably not going to like it. But sometimes the smaller part of my brain manages to go over there and creep around the logic part. So what the hell is it that I'm reviewing for you, folks? It happens to be, boom, it's Cheetos, but Flamin' Hot Dill Pickle Cheetos. Delightfully cheesy heat. Oh, Jesus. Alright, so here's the thing. If you watch the channel, you might know. I'm not a pickle guy. I've reviewed some pickle stuff. Typically, I do so to torture myself for your entertainment. But yeah, I'm not a huge pickle guy. Here's the other thing, though, and this might throw some people. I'm not a Flamin' Hot Cheetos guy. I've never been. I like spicy Cheetos, like I like the jalapeno cheddar and stuff, but I don't know, man. Flamin' Hot's never been my bag. But here's a bag of it. So we're combining two things that I don't expect to like all that much, but maybe it'll work. So let's get a thing for the thing here. Try to get, yeah, there we go. We'll just go, ha 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 ha! Let's give it a go. I mean, maybe it'll work. That hurt my eyes a little bit. Okay. Cheeto. Yeah, that's pretty much what I figured it would be like. It's definitely not for me. Okay. If there's one element that I do, let me get in another one before I start yammering on. Okay. If there's one element to it that I find somewhat surprising, it's the lack of the hit from the dill pickle. Like, now it is there. You definitely do get a dill pickle taste. However, it takes a little bit for it to kick in, and it's not as strong as I was expecting. And then by the time it starts to build a little bit, the heat kicks in from the Flamin' Hot element of it. So, yeah, I don't know. And I'm not sure how to take that on a personal level, because for me, I'm not upset about the fact that the pickle flavor isn't as prominent as I was expecting. But at the same time, I mean, from a consumer standpoint, I personally would like the pickle flavor to be stronger. So this is kind of a consumer advocacy thing less than a personal thing. Because, yeah, for me, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a pickle guy. I'm not a Flamin' Hot Cheetos guy, so no part of this is particularly to my liking. I don't hate it or anything, but it's definitely not a snack for me. But I can sort of look past that and try to sort of envision what I feel like maybe the average person looking at this would come into. And there's kind of good and bad to it because, like I said, there is a dill pickle aspect, but it's not as strong as I would have thought, and it doesn't last as long as I would have, liked, again, in the consumer aspect. Let's get like a proper mouthful, because that's how you're going to eat Cheetos, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what exactly you want out of it, because I do feel like the tanginess with the heat is actually kind of nice. Like, even for me, I can kind of go with it a little bit. But I do feel like, as a dill pickle snack, they could have pushed forward a little bit more, give it a little extra oomph. Now, I reviewed some Vlasic pickle snacks recently. You can go look up that review if you're interested. Those, I personally found to be pretty amicable. Not something I would get again for myself, but like, I was able to eat those and enjoy them for what they were. With these, I can kind of do that too, but big part of that is because, again, I feel like the pickle aspect, while certainly there, I don't want to, make it seem like it's not playing a role, not as strong as I was expecting. And I also feel like the flaming hot aspect of it maybe a little bit too mitigated as well. It's kind of one of those things where, again, the tanginess and the heat, I think that's, a great combination. Even if it's not for me, but, I like that element to it. But the counterpoint is I kind of feel like, whereas you could do one of these or the other and do it really, really well, combining them, I feel they're a little bit lacking, from what I personally would want if I were somebody excited for this particular product. But I don't think they're bad. Even on a personal level, I can kind of get along with them. Two questions have to be asked, though. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? No, and that's to nobody's surprise. And sure. For myself, I can get along with them, but that's about as good as I can do. I don't think these are something that I would grow to like or anything like that. They're tolerable. They're not awful. There's nothing bad about them. They just don't play to my personal palate, which is fair enough. I don't expect everything to play to my palate. That's why, if I'm recommending them, sure. Like, I don't think that these are as good as they could have been, which I feel like some people might find as well, but maybe I'm completely off base with that. Again, I'm not the market for this. But I do feel like, especially with it being Cheetos, they tend to be known for their punchy flavor. I'm not going to say this isn't punchy, but I don't feel like it's as punchy as I feel like they could have done. And I could see some people being a little bit disappointed, although I do have to emphasize a little bit, because ultimately they are still very flavorful. They do incorporate both elements, and I do think that the tanginess and the heat kind of work nicely together. So I don't know if they're going to be anybody's favorite snack, but I also don't know that they're not going to be anybody's favorite snack. So I think if you're enticed by the prospect of it, absolutely give these a go. If you're like me and you look at it and think, that looks like something that I would go over there and throw at somebody that I dislike, probably not going to be for you. I don't think this is going to change your mindset on it. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there themselves are truly Cheetos-tastic rest of your life. Sure, Cheetos are good. Maybe not all the Cheetos are for me, but some of them are really good. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, let me know on this one, because like I said, I'm not the audience for it. But if you're somebody who, this appeals to, let me know if you try it out. Hit me up in the comments. I'd be really interested to, get your take on it. Is it, something, what you've always dreamed of? Or do you kind of feel like I feel where maybe it's a little bit lacking for what it could have been? Anyway,